Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to another video today. My name is Chris, and we're once again going to be taking a look at the map of the non-liquidating and liquidating Sears and Kmart stores, which, yes, this map has been updated as of Tuesday, January 18th, 2022 at approximately 7:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, with the closure of the Kmart store at the Bitterroot Valley Shopping Center in Hamilton, Montana, the Kmart closure at the Key Plaza Shopping Center in Key West, Florida, and also the closure of the Sears and Roebuck store at the Willow Grove Park Mall in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. We are now down to 10 Kmart stores. That's right, 10 Kmart stores that I can actually count on my fingers, and 17 Sears and Roebuck stores. Combine both numbers together, and you get approximately 28 non-liquidating Sears and Kmart stores. So, wow, 10 Kmarts with the closure of Hamilton and Key West, and only 4 of them are now in the United States, and 6 of them obviously are outside of the mainland of the United States. So, no more Kmarts in mountain time zones and no more Kmarts on the West Coast. Basically, now all Kmart operations are on the East Coast of the United States. So before we go on location by location by location on the map that Dead and Dying Retail created, it's important to go over the list of the non-liquidating and, of course, liquidating Sears and Kmart stores. So these are the non-liquidating Kmart stores as of Tuesday, January 18th, 2022. So we have the freestanding Kmart store. It's the Kmart store in Tallman, Guam. The Kmart store at the Kendall Lakes Plaza Shopping Center in Miami, Florida. The Kmart store at the Delco Plaza Shopping Center in Avenel, New Jersey, which is the only Kmart store within the state of New Jersey to operate 7 days a week. The other Kmart store that still remains open in my home state of New Jersey, it's the Kmart store at the Westwood Plaza Shopping Center in Westwood, New Jersey, and this store is required to be closed on Sundays because of the Bergen County Blue laws that prevents the retailer from opening and operating the location on that day. And the only other Kmart in the area of New York City that is still operating, aside from the 2 in New Jersey, which are commuter towns, it's the Kmart store at the Bridgehampton Commons Shopping Center in Bridgehampton, New York. And the other Kmart stores that are still operating that are not within the mainland of the United States include the Kmart store at the Plaza Las Americas Shopping Center in Hato Puerto Rico, the Kmart store at the Sunshine Mall in St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands, the Kmart store at the Sunny Isle Shopping Center in St. Croix, United States Virgin Islands. The other Kmart stores that are operating are the Kmart store at the Tutu Park Mall in St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands, the Kmart store at the Lockhart Gardens Shopping Center in St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. And yeah, that's basically it. So 6 Kmarts that are not located in the mainland of the United States, and only 4 Kmarts located within the mainland of the United States, exclusively now on the East Coast, given the closure of Hamilton, Montana. And there's also another one closing on the East Coast, which you guys know which one it is already. So Sears, we have a total of 17 locations left operating, most of them being in the state of California and also Florida as well. So we have the Sears. They are Sears and Roebuck stores, but I am going to call them Sears for simplification purposes only. We have the Sears store at the Burbank Town Center in Burbank, California. The Sears store at the Sun Valley Shopping Center in Concord, California. The Sears store at the Webster Town Mall in Stockton, California. The Sears store at the Whitwood Town Center in Whittier, California, the Sears store at the Sears Town Plaza in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the Sears freestanding store in Miami, Florida, in Kendall Lakes, Miami, Florida, the Sears store at the Florida Mall, or no, not Kendall Lakes, I don't know, it's in another town in Florida, I'm not too sure, but it's within Miami, Florida at least, the Sears store at the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida, the Sears store at the Gardens Mall in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, the Sears store at the South Shore Plaza in Braintree, Massachusetts, the Sears store at the Francis Scott Key Mall in Frederick, Maryland, the Sears store at the Newport Center Mall in Jersey City, New Jersey, the Sears store at the Newburgh Mall in Newburgh, New York, the Sears store at the Friendly Center in Greensboro, North Carolina, the Sears store at the Plaza Las Americas Mall in San Juan, Puerto Rico, the Sears store at the Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas, the Sears store at the Westfield South Center in Tukwila, Washington, and finally the Sears store at the Valley Mall in Union Gap, Washington. And these are the liquidating stores that are shutting down So the first round is going to be on Sunday, March 6, 2022, and it's going to be the Kmart store at the Bitterroot Valley Shopping Center in Hamilton, Montana, and also the Sears store at the Willow Grove Park Mall in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. Again, both of those locations will be shutting down on Sunday, March 6th, 2022. The other liquidating store that will be shutting down a week after, on Sunday, March 13th, 2022, it's the Kmart store at the Key West Plaza Shopping Center in Key West, Florida. Now that we've gone over all the locations on the list, let's go over the map of the location. So we're going to go from west to east on the map created by Dead and Dying Retail. So here we go. So the first store that we're going to hit is the Kmart store in Tuaming, Guam. This, I believe, is the most successful Kmart in the entire fleet. So if Kmart does decide to crap the bed, which is probably going to be this year, another store is expected to buy out this store if that does happen, and it is most likely, unfortunately, given the Kmart store count as of yesterday. So again, this is the Kmart store in Tuaming, Guam, which is a United States territory west of Hawaii. Okay, so the next store that we're going to hit as we go across, because there are no more Sears or Kmart stores within the state of Hawaii, so that means that we're going to start on the Pacific Coast first, which is the west coast of the United States. So the next store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Westfield South Center Mall in Tukwila, Washington, a couple miles northeast of the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. This is the last Sears store within a Westfield property, and it is also the last Sears store within the Seattle-Tacoma metropolitan area. So definitely sad and definitely significant if this store does decide to close within the next couple of months or so. It will be sad if this store does, in fact, indeed, shut down. So again, it's the Sears store at the Westfield South Center Mall in Tukwila, Washington State. Okay, and the other Sears store in Washington State, it's in Union Gap. It's at the Valley Mall in Union Gap, Washington State. This is the other Sears store. Only 2 left in the state of Washington, and they have actually dodged several closing lists, fortunately enough. But they might not. They might be unlucky the next time going around, sadly. Okay, so this is the first time that I have actually done one of these videos that we will not be going to the state of Montana, because the Kmart at the Bitterroot Valley Shopping Center in Hamilton, Montana will be shutting down on Sunday, March 6th, 2022. So we're going to go down now the coast of California, which no more Kmarts, but 4 Sears stores still remain within the state of California. So the first Sears store that we're going to hit, it's at the Sunny Valley Shopping Center in Concord, California, one of the last 2 Sears stores near the city of San Francisco, California. Okay, so the next store that we're going to hit is the Sears store in Stockton, California, and this Sears store is located at not the Sherwood Shopping Center Mall, but the Webstertown Mall in Stockton, California. Okay, and as we make our way down the Pacific coast of the United States, the next Sears store we're going to hit, it's going to be one of the 2 in the greater Los Angeles area, and that Sears store is located at the Burbank Towns, not that one, sorry. Sorry, this one I meant to go to, so sorry. This is the Sears store at the Burbank Town Center in Burbank, California. So again, one of 4 Sears stores left within the state of California, not being liquidated currently by SB360 Capital Partners LLC. So yeah, again, it's the Sears store at the Burbank Town Center in Burbank, California. Okay, and as we go southeast, the next Sears store we're going to hit, it's at a freestanding strip mall. It's at the Whitwood Town Center in Whittier, California. And that's it for Sears in California, just Whittier, Burbank, Concord, and Stockton. And all 4 are vulnerable, by the way. It's a matter of time before one of them craps the bed, unfortunately. Okay, as we go down the Sun Belt region of the United States, the next Sears store we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas. Right now, there are actually, it's not closing, obviously, but rumors were circulating around that this store was going to close, but fortunately, that is not the case, which is actually a good thing. So the Sears store at the Cielo Vista Mall in El Paso, Texas, is remaining open for now. Just given the success of Sears Mexico, that is exactly why this Sears store does remain to this day. obviously because of the success of Sears Mexico. Okay, so that's basically it for this part of the United States with Sears stores. Now we're just going to go down here. We're going to go all the way up the East Coast. So we're going to start off with the United States Virgin Islands. And the first United States Virgin Island that we're going to do is the St. Croix United States Virgin Islands. And this is the Kmart store located at the Mall of St. Croix in United States Virgin Islands. And I believe that, oh yeah, this is one of the very few Kmarts left to have a Little Caesars. You know, the guy that does pizza. They don't have any more in the United States that have a Little Caesars. So if you have a Kmart with a Little Caesars in the United States Virgin Islands, consider yourself lucky. And not only that this Kmart has a Little Caesars, but it also has a Kmart pharmacy, which is also something you cannot find in the mainland United States. Okay, and as we go a little northeast, the next Kmart store that we're going to hit, it's at the Sunny Isle Shopping Center in St. Croix, United States, Virgin Islands. This Kmart also does not have a pharmacy, but it also has another Little Caesars, the guy that does pizza. You can also get your pizza fix at this Kmart as well. It's at the Sunny Isle Shopping Center in St. Croix, United States, Virgin Islands. Okay, and as we go north to the St. Thomas United States Virgin Islands, which is near the British United States Virgin Islands, the next Kmart store that we're going to hit, it's the Kmart store at the Lockhart Gardens Shopping Center in St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. And this one does not have a pharmacy, nor does it have a Little Caesars. Okay, the next Kmart that we're going to hit is also in St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands, and it's at the Tutu Park Mall in United States, St. Thomas, United States Virgin Islands. And this Kmart has a Kmart pharmacy as well as a Little Caesars, the guy that does pizza. This also has a Little Caesars and a Kmart pharmacy, all under one roof. Pretty amazing and pretty rare in 2022, that is for sure. Obviously, it's not in the United States anymore, but it's a pretty rare occurrence to have both a Little Caesars and a Kmart pharmacy under one roof. Okay, so with the closure of the Kmart store in Key West at the Key Plaza Shopping Center in Key West, Florida, there is now only one Kmart store left in the state of Florida. And that Kmart store, yep, because Key West is now closing, and that's going to become, I believe, a Publix supermarket chain. It's the Kmart store at the Kendall Lakes Plaza Shopping Center in Kendall Lakes, Miami, Florida. This is one of only 4 Kmarts left in the United States of America on the mainland United States. That is crazy. And what's even more crazy is that I can count all of them on one set of fingers. I don't need 2 sets of fingers to count all the remaining Kmarts in the mainland United States. So that's pretty crazy. But this Kmart, unfortunately, is vulnerable to closing because there's a Target just a couple miles west down the road. And what I've heard, mostly they just use this for online orders and distribution. So it's only a matter of time before they announce that this Kmart store at the Kendall Lakes Plaza Shopping Center in Miami, Florida does shut down, unfortunately. Okay, so given that Kmart has a much smaller presence now in Florida, Sears has a much larger presence, and that means that the next store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store in Coral Gables, Miami, Florida. This is one of the last 2 remaining freestanding Sears stores within the state of Florida. So pretty significant at that. This is the last Sears store in Miami, Florida, even though it's in Coral Gables, Miami, Florida. Okay, as we go up the east coast of Florida, the next Sears store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at, the Searstown Plaza in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. There was rumors that they're expected to redevelop this property into some kind of apartments, although fortunately for now, this Sears store does remain safe for the time being, of course. Okay, and the next store that we're going to hit as we go up the coast of Florida, it's the Sears store at the Palm Beach Gardens Mall. The Gardens Mall, rather, in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Okay, and the next store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida, home to Walt Disney World, SeaWorld Orlando, and Universal Orlando Resort. And it's the Sears store at the Florida Mall in Orlando, Florida. One of the last Sears store in the central region of the state of Florida. Once this goes, no more Sears in the central region of Florida. The Auto Center has already closed, so I'm sure the closing is coming sooner than later. Okay, and that's the 4 Sears stores within the state of Florida, and we saw the Kmart already, so now we're going to go up the Atlantic coast of the United States, and the next Sears store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Friendly Center in Greensboro, North Carolina. The last Sears store within the state of North Carolina, because the Triangle Town Center did close last year. So again, it's the Sears store at the Friendly Center in Greensboro, North Carolina. Okay, and as we go up the coast, the east coast of the United States, the next Sears store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Francis Scott Key Mall in Frederick, Maryland. This is the last Sears store in the state of Maryland, given the closing last year of the Silver Spring, Maryland, both Sears and Kmart stores, the only Transform Co. store left, and it's the Sears store at the Francis Scott Key Mall in Frederick, Maryland. Okay, and with the closure of the Willow Grove Park Mall, Sears in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, the next store we're going to hit automatically, it's the Kmart store at the Delco Plaza Shopping Center in Avenel, New Jersey, the last Kmart store to operate 7 days a week within the state of New Jersey, because the one in Kearney and Belleville closed last year. So the Kmart store at the Delco Plaza Shopping Center in Avenel, New Jersey, in Middlesex County, New Jersey, is the last Kmart store within the entire state of New Jersey to operate approximately 7 days a week. Okay, and the next store that we're going to hit, it's the Sears store at the Newport Center Mall in Jersey City, New Jersey. And who would have thought this would have been the last Sears store within close proximity to New York City? No one would have ever guessed it, because Massapequa closed last year, and so did Valley Stream. So this store is the last one in the greater New York City area. It's probably most likely going to close this year. I don't see this store making it past to 2022. And again, it's the Sears store at the Newport Center Mall in Jersey City, New Jersey. Okay, and as we go quickly to Long Island, we have the Kmart store at the Bridgehampton Common Shopping Center in Bridgehampton, New York. This was known as the Martha Stewart Kmart, and I could very well see Target picking up this lease for absolutely nothing, given that Target would want to expand their presence on Long Island. So so it's the Kmart store at the Bridgehampton Common Shopping Center in Bridgehampton, New York. Okay, and as we boomerang back to New Jersey, the next store that we're going to hit, it's the Kmart store at the Westwood Plaza Shopping Center in Westwood, New Jersey. And this Kmart store is unfortunately required to be closed on Sundays because of the Bergen County Blue Laws that prevent all non-essential retailers from operating within any part of Bergen County. So again, it's the Kmart store at the Westwood Plaza Shopping Center in Westwood, New Jersey. Okay, and the next store that we're going to hit as we go upstate to the Hudson Valley region of New York State, we have the Sears store at the Newburgh Mall in Newburgh, New York. Apparently there's I don't know what's going to happen or the future of this store, I can't really say. But this store's future is up in the air. I mean, that's basically with all of them at this point. But again, it's the Sears store at the Newburgh Mall in Newburgh, New York. Okay, and the final Sears store on the map of the non-liquidating Sears and Kmart stores, it's the Sears store at the South Shore Plaza in Braintree, Massachusetts. Last one in New England, last one in Massachusetts, and the last last Sears in Massachusetts, and the last Transform Co. owned property within the state of Massachusetts. So definitely lots of lasts here. So, anyways, all right, so guys, that is all of the non-liquidating and liquidating Sears and Kmart stores. So again, with the closure of the closure of Sears Willow Grove, Kmart Hamilton, Montana, and Kmart Key West, Florida. Again, the total count is 10 Kmarts and 17 Sears stores, a total of 28 locations that are not liquidating as of Tuesday, January 18th, 2021. So, anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this video. Please make sure to check the link that will be located for the map created by Dead and Dying Retail, as well as the list that I will also be posting a link to in this video as well. So, anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this video, and that will be it.